Okay, so that was good news. I wasn't necessarily expecting that call, but Jackson's Music, who I got this guitar from that we're talking about, I Martin released some new guitars this year in 2025, and I'm actually really excited to check out the DJr10e short scale, which is kind of what I want to talk about in this guitar, but short scale and just has a little twang to it. So that being said, I want to talk to you guys about why I got this Martin Dreadnought Jr. The second, I think it's the second iteration with the triple O body depth, and like I said, it's a 15/16 size guitar. So for me, I came into guitars thinking I needed the biggest thing because that was what I thought of guitars. Honestly, I thought I needed the biggest, loudest, all of that, and blues is not that. Let's talk about African American traditions first of all. So black people invented the blues through trial and tribulation, struggle, slavery, so on and so forth. Like that was our, I guess I should say, native sound, right? And it has become a foundational American, truly American style and genre of music, and it has spawned the iterations of so many other things. And so with that, I have to think about who was playing the blues, what guys were playing. Robert Johnson played a Gibson, yes, but what were these guys playing? These guys were playing Stella Harmony guitars. I know Muddy Waters, when he did his recordings with Alan Lomax, he actually was given a Martin 00 guitar, a 0018 from Alan Lomax to record his plantation, or the recordings in his cabin when he was a sharecropper and working plantation. So, when I think about a 00, that's a short scale guitar, right? The Martin has been a piece of American history since the beginning, since 1833. And so, of course, Alan Lomax would have that for a very historic recording. But what were blues players playing? That's the central question. And the answer to that, African American blues players didn't have a lot of money back then. So they were getting cheaper guitars, like I said, your Stellas, your Stella Harmonies, your lower end catalog Sears and Roebuck kind of guitars. And every so often, there were, not every so often, yeah, I'd say more often than I would expect, but there were artists, as I'm learning, that had Martins, Gibsons, Epiphones, so on and so forth. Well, the sound of the blues, there's a lot of emotion to it. The bends, the runs, all of these things that happen up and down the fretboard to manipulate the sound. And it was truly an instrument to carry the vocals of struggle and the vocals of that release. And this is, again, all the way that I'm understanding and developing my relationship to my people's very native but very American genre of music, right? And so then I go to my inspiration, Lightning Hopkins. Lightning Hopkins played a Gibson J50, which J45 just with a natural top, and had that thump to it, right? And he did some palm muting on the low E. Some thumping on the low E. It was his music is very thumpy, and his Gibson played that way. That's the sound he was able to project, and I like that this guitar, this Martin Dreadnought Jr., gives me that thump. Like I said, it's not it's still a small body guitar, like what a lot of blues players were playing, right? And some had dreadnoughts and so on and so forth. And I like the bass and boom of a dreadnought because I'm from Atlanta. I grew up with rap music, right? I grew up listening to bass and 808s, and so this gives me a little bit of that when I'm making my own music. And then outside of that, I still get the short scale to make bending chords and things a bit easier, right? The it gets a bit slinkier. I've got the Martin medium gauge Authentics on here that I really like. I've tried the Monels. They were just I didn't really like what that sound was. It was okay, but I just like what the Authentics do on here. So yeah, this guitar, it really just is comfortable. I travel with it a lot. Like, it's a guitar that, although it's listed as a travel guitar and this and that and beginners, no, it's very much so a high-end acoustic guitar that really does inspire creativity, at least in me. I like it artistically. It's subtle. I think of guitars in the same way I think of my paintings. When it sits on the wall, what does it look like? And I like what it looks like on the wall. I like what it looks like when it's leaning somewhere. It visually captures my eye. It's very simple. Pickguard I like, though. The rosette, all of these, the mother pearl, that's what I was trying to say. Putting in bone, just getting more projection out of it. I've made a couple of adjustments, just like I said, just with the strings and the bridge pins, but everything else is there. The rich light, I actually like how it feels in my fingers. It's real smooth, but I've really just taken to this guitar. I feel like this guitar is very much so a companion, and a creative driver, more so than my others. And it's the type of guitar that makes that it makes you wanna pick up. The nut is 1 3/4 inches, and all the rest of the specs are on the Martin website, so you can check that out. But I mean, I just really like it. The cherry sapele is just nice. The Martin tuners. And it's a type of guitar that makes me want to take care of it. So I'm just real excited to have it, and I liked how I came by it. And again, for blues, for that thump and grit that I'm looking for in my own blues sound. I've been told that my songs sound kind of haunting sometimes. Not Black Cadillac, but a couple others that I've just kind of made up, and I really do like making up sounds. This gives me what I want. It gives me some growl. It actually projects really well, and it sounds great plugged in as well. It's got a pickup inside, a Fishman pickup, and real discreet, real subtle, and it still gives me just all the things that I really like to hear in a sound, especially when I got my headphones in. I can just zone out. So thanks, y'all. That's really why I liked it. I wanted the short scale for the reference to the blues. I wanted the bass in reference to my background in rap and hip hop. Growing up in Atlanta, I like the dreadnought style. I just didn't need a huge one. And the sapele is just about like mahogany, and it fits my fingers. I can slide. So all of that to say, this guitar is what gave me that song and so much more inspiration to have a good time, enjoy, and continue creating. It's just an extension of my artistic practice. So that being said, folks, I really appreciate y'all, and stay tuned.
She drive a Cadillac. She drive a Cadillac, baby. She drive a Cadillac. You damn sure she gonna take it home. I got a lady. I call her Escalade. I got a lady. You damn sure she drive a Escalade. She drive a Cadillac. She drive a Cadillac, baby. She drive a Cadillac. You damn sure she gonna take it home. She buying her own Cadillac.